That is the message of this podcast.
Oh, yes.
Go against the flow.
Yes.
Anarchy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are the Cloud Rovers, and welcome to our first episode of the podcast. We have no name for it. We're just the Cloud Rovers, and you're going to like us, or you're not. That's the best I got. So
Okay.
Tell us who you are. We got to go in line.
Oh, going down the list.
Going down for real.
Well, I'm Steven. I'm the bassist for our band, and I'm just looking forward to hanging out with you guys and having some cool chats.
I'm Casey. I'm our singer and guitarist. I play rhythm chords, but I sing. I guess you could call me the front man for our band. I do music because I like hanging out with these nerds here. So, yeah.
I'm Buck. I like drums.
Ooh. All right, Buck. What do you like about drums?
I like how they go boom, and then ka, and then tss, and then boots, and then cats.
Mm-hmm.
Boots and cats.
That's a good reason.
Mm-hmm. Very profound.
Very nice. And I'm Matthew. I'm the keyboard player. Getting more into synths every day, it seems. So adding that big sound, the little sparkle on top that you hear.
He's both the sound and the sparkle.
Right.
I would say that's enough to call him the esteemed guest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at him. He's already sitting higher than the rest of us.
Uh-huh.
He's like
Oh,
extra
yep.
special.
There
Yep.
you go.
And you've got that gorgeous hoodie on.
Mm-hmm. Brand new.
Is this the first time you worn it?
Yeah, it really is. First time.
Mm-hmm.
It gets a lot of compliments, I've noticed.
Mm-hmm. I think it's been like
So.
4 in one day or something, and I haven't even seen you at work.
Yep.
That's a lot.
It's good.
Do you think he kind of looks like a frozen popsicle or something?
I mean, a little bit.
Really?
This reminds me more of like beaches on in Florida, like the beautiful water, white sand
Ooh.
beaches. That's
I never thought of that.
Now I want some alcohol to go with that.
Mhm.
To go with that vision.
The little umbrella.
All right. So we do like music and we play music. And something that's really important to us is what music that we kind of take inspiration from. So I kind of want to do this thing where we talk about a song that's been stuck in our head kind of all week and stuff. So I think who better to start with than our esteemed guest, Matthew.
Right, yeah. Thanks for having me. So this week I've been listening to a song, Hometown, by French 79.
Pretty good.
Uh-huh.
I think I've heard this artist.
I've heard
It's
it.
Yeah.
a very popular French artist, kind of like in the house electronic genre. It's a nice instrumental. It starts out with this neat, arpeggiated synth riff that slowly speeds up through the song, and then midway through, there's this really big beat that drops, and then it continues through the rest of it. It's just a real nice groove through the rest.
Is it like one of those like super satisfying beat drops that comes really late? I would assume.
Right, yeah, it's like halfway through. Oh, it actually does have words. The words come halfway through too. Yeah, the lyrics are there.
So it like
halfway through.
develops into a full song, much like how a human develops into a full human. It's
Yes.
I guess if you want to go that way.
oh boy,
It's analogous
But-
to evolution.
of course.
So
Okay. I'm gonna have to
that's
take
the
a
one
listen
I've been
to it.
listening to a
Uh-huh.
lot.
Yeah.
So.
And we're always going to be putting the songs that we talk about, we're going to put them in the description so you guys can listen to them and check them out for yourselves.
Right below that like button and right by our socials, Cloud Rovers Official on Instagram, and then I think we'll have our landing page link down there. So drummer.
All right. Yeah. I haven't really been listening to anything new because like Spotify, come on, give me better songs to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
Oldies are still goodies.
I know. But yeah, I like going back to like oldies. Steven recommended, or he was like, "Oh, I've been listening to this song lately by the Rex, Favorite Liar."
Oh, yeah.
And then that brought me back to my very old like YouTube playlist that I like,
Mhm.
that's where I used to listen all my music to, like before high school. And I was like, or probably during high school, I don't remember. But yeah, around like 2017, 2016-ish. And then I started listening to a bunch of like the Rex, kind of like the beginning of their songs like Churn It Up and Favorite Liar.
Oh yeah,
I got some good stuff.
yeah, that one is good.
Yeah.
So you're just like all of the Rex old stuff.
Yeah, I kind of like, I was like, oh, wow. I actually know like more songs than like
He's
than
name
I
dropping
thought
the
I did.
whole band.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. I've been listening to the song, and I have this. Actually, Matthew and I have this kind of strange critique of it. It's called "The Good Days" by Strange Talk, and it's very groovy. But yeah, we heard it in the car the other day. It's very groovy, and it's kind of got that like strong falsetto funk voice in it, with like some like
Always the best.
yeah, and it's got some like it's kind of got a little old school bass line into it, but it's kind of packaged in sort of a like new era electronic way. It's kind of got that sterileness of new age electronic while still being funky. The problem, and it's like infectious. Like I can't not listen to it like 6 times when I hear it. It's pretty good. The problem with it is it feels like it's like a tech demo of a song.
Oh.
I don't know how to better describe this, but
It never ends, or
well, no, it never changes,
Oh.
and not like the same way like that Roosevelt will do like one riff through the thing, because the song is one riff, but it just kind of feels like it needs to move to something else, and it's more of like a hypnotic background song.
Interesting.
But I love it at the same time. But I'm also like annoyed with it. It's great. Go check it out, because I've been dancing like a fool at work.
A good one.
To it. So yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah. So the song that I've been listening to on repeat all week is called "All Shook Up" by Nick Lutsko.
All shook up.
Yep.
Oh, it's probably not that.
No. He does reference the Elvis Presley song
Really?
in his song, but it just has the grooviest chorus ever. And what I love about it is
a big
the
statement.
song just doesn't make sense. Like, the lyrics are
That makes
just...
sense for your taste.
Yeah, the lyrics are just, like, weird and off the wall, but they, like, all fit so well. It's you gotta listen to it. It's one of those that, like, you're going through, and, like, all the words, like, one of the lines is, she, like, stabbed me with a cigarette while she was kissing a crucifix, right? And you're like, what the heck? This makes no sense, right? But you go through the song, and you're listening to it, and you're like, I feel like there's some meaning behind all of this.
And you just haven't decoded it yet.
Yeah, you just haven't decoded it, because there's like all these weird references to different things. Like he references Elvis, but he says like, I'm sorry, Elvis, or something like that. Like he's changed like the song, or like, I don't know, but it all feels like it's driving towards some purpose you just don't know. And it makes a really cool song, and it has a great solo in the middle. It's just a vibe.
It's just like a masterpiece of like
Yeah.
different things.
Uh-huh.
I kind of have the feeling that it would be like, it's either got lots of meaning and it's probably part of a real scavenger hunt, or it means nothing. You like ask the person who wrote it, and they'll be like, "Nah, I just thought that word sounded good."
Yeah, I guess it definitely could go that route, but it gives that illusion that there's like depth to it, which I really like.
The illusion of depth, just like every paper I wrote for college.
Yeah. Makes it better.
The illusion of depth.
So, well, yeah. So hopefully we'll be speaking about songs that we hear throughout the week. Every time that we come on and do our podcast, because it's always great to talk about our inspirations, because we like writing music, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean we're gonna do it anyways, so
Yeah, of
we thought we
course.
might as well do it with you guys. And I know I'm definitely gonna check out Casey's one, because that's one that I haven't heard until just now. And I think, I go on to check it out, see what he's interested about,
And then he'll get
Dance
addicted
along.
to it. He'll be like, "Man, I learned the bass line to it."
Yeah.
which is how we usually work. Speaking of like how we usually work, I don't know about you guys. Do you can you pinpoint when this band started? Like, cause I've been playing music for a while, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you guys kind of like
Showed up one day.
you showed up one day, right? But like, what would we, if we were to have 100 years from now, be like, this is anniversary day. It happened when X happened.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I all I remember was like Steven came in first because we needed a bassist, and like I don't know how you convinced him to like play bass.
I don't know.
I all I can remember is just he was that we needed a bassist, and then boom, he was there.
Yeah, we were doing a bunch of robotic stuff at your guys' house, and then I was just there, and he's like, "You want to play the bass?" And I'm like, "Well, sure." I'll play the bass, and that was it.
Quite a change from the clarinet.
Of course, right? As you could tell, the four of us were really cool, athletic, preppy kids in high school.
Uh-huh. All the sports.
All the sports. We did robotics together. And then I was like, I really need a bassist. And Steven is a very intelligent individual. So I was all like, he could probably figure this out. So I literally handed him a bass like this. And I was like, you think you play this? He looks at it and goes, yeah, I think so. And then a week later, he's like, I learned it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember I spent like a month learning "Sweet Child of Mine," and then
Yeah,
we
the
got
intro
together.
solo.
Yeah, that was the best. I was like, oh, I can totally play bass now. I learned all of "Sweet Child of Mine."
And like I know like Matt came in like short after but
Mhm.
how did that come to be? Do you remember Matt?
I don't know.
Like
Not really, because I already knew how to play a bit of the piano fairly
Mhm.
well, just like playing just at home. And then it was just like kind of the same sort of thing. Just like there's a piano just sitting right here.
Do you want to play?
Come up and play along.
Yeah, do you want to play it?
Uh-huh.
Well,
Because I think I knew Viva La Vida. I think that was.
Oh yeah.
Were you like a one-song guy at the time?
No, that was like my pop song that I knew, because I knew like some of the classical ones, and then the One Republic song, Counting Stars.
Mhm.
There were a few in there, but
Okay.
that was like the band one that I remember.
yeah, I think we like added Matt when we had Steven, but also had a guitarist that left us. But like we added Matt after that. Like
Yeah,
we never had Matt with the.
I don't
extra
even
guitarist
remember how
we
that
had.
all happened.
It must have been like I'm not enough guitar by myself.
Yeah.
So we were like, we need a guy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because there was the first festival or like performance was in a Longmont. Longmont.
Longmont.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
some
I forget.
footage,
It was
man.
like a music festival we all got like invited to, and we played there one song, did a few cake songs, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I remember that. We have some pictures.
That
we
was
looked
like
up
the
recently.
first one, first
I-
performance.
cool.
I'm sure Buck will edit in some of these photos and video, maybe like right here.
Mhm.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Wait, what about right here?
I think I was wearing a blue shirt. Don't quote me on that.
Do you remember that?
I have no idea if I'm
You can
talking
just
about the right
edit
one.
it out, and then put in whatever color.
Whatever color I said.
It'll be spoken with Microsoft Sam red.
Yeah.
Where do I even find these photos?
Yeah.
I don't know. We might have some
He's got
photos.
some.
Yeah.
That was
Oh,
my
okay.
first
Like old
performance
photos.
with.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
okay.
Yeah, it was neat seeing it, because it's like, wow, we've been doing this a while. That was, I don't know, 5 years?
Is that 2016?
Yeah. 2016.
2016.
Yeah. So 6 years ago, and it's like, wow, I can't believe we've been doing this that long.
I think that was my first performance with that white guitar over there.
Ooh,
Oh, I'm getting called by something.
you're popular.
I'm so popular. Maybe we'll just. Oh no! Oh shoot!
Accidentally answers.
Quick thing about this phone: answer is pulled down, which is
Yeah, that's,
decline phone call on every other phone I've ever used.
yeah.
Yep.
But yeah. Well, I did actually want to add one more thing about like you joining the band.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, I don't know if this is correct because like you remember stuff differently, but I'm like, you were definitely. I knew that you played trumpet
right.
in like band and jazz band and stuff, and I was like, he's also this guy's brother, so he's pretty intelligent too. So, I was like, I didn't really know if you could play piano.
Oh,
Because
okay.
everyone can play one song of piano, right?
Right.
For me, it's like "See You Again" by,
Uh-huh.
by
Right.
Charlie
Uh-huh.
Puth, right?
Yeah, at
but I
that time
can't
I
play
could've.
piano.
Yeah, I could play one song.
So I wasn't sure if you actually knew how to play piano. I was like, he knows how to like read music and he can like hit some keys, and I'm like, I bet he could. He could learn it, right?
I would say I could play,
Okay.
but it was not like the same sort of like performance aspect where I would every time I'd play, I'd always need the sheet music to play.
Oh, okay.
So I had never really taken the time to really memorize anything except for like maybe one song. Because all the time it was just read the sheet music, it's there. What am I memorizing it for? I'm just like, I'm not performing it. I'm just playing it at home. So it's like a completely different, almost like style or like way to play, I guess.
I mean, at the time, though, you'd been playing for, I don't know, at least 5 years, I'd say.
Well, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a while.
I was not the wiser, really.
We got a piano, like,
Yeah.
when
I was
he started
a
middle
freshman
school.
in high school.
Or freshman in high school? Okay,
Yeah.
so when I started middle school.
When you started middle school, yeah. So that would have been
so-
about like 5 years.
So he wasn't
4 or
new
5
to it. He,
years
Oh.
he had some skills.
Yeah, so did you like
But-
like were you able to memorize like real quickly? Like, oh, I've like muscle memory this basically.
Pretty much. I think I learned a lot more of the music theory to like kind of
yeah.
memorize it a bit easier. Like,
That's
okay,
good.
these are the patterns. So this chord, I can play these notes. It'll sound fun.
Yeah, we got the real music nerd of the band here.
Yep.
Do you know
All that
music, Buck?
theory.
I'm a drummer, so I'm not a musician.
No. You played big violin. I meant cello.
Yeah, small bass.
It's not its own instrument. It's
Yeah.
big violin, small bass.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No in between.
I mean, I also did play a little bit of drums in high school, and like, yeah, I had the opposite effect. It was kind of like weird playing things to a sheet music, and I mean, like, and I also kind of picked it up fairly like quickly because I knew rhythm, and it wasn't that hard. But yeah,
I bet he's sitting there playing cello, and he's like, I don't even want to play the cello. I just want to bob my head.
if you saw my concerts, I was always bobbing my head.
Yeah, you need to do it like
Getting
the
into
piano
it.
guys where he's like always doing the drum parts on the cello. That'd be perfect for you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You could like loop in and like
piano guys, yeah.
and then
It's got all the reverb.
Yeah.
You know, to make it.
yeah.
You know, speaking of like, well, first of all, speaking of small bass,
Mm-hmm.
this will all make sense in a second. We got bass, right? And then we're talking about kind of our origins and stuff. For a while, for many years, actually, we went by the name Bass and Sound. You'll probably see a T-shirt of that.
Yep.
So one of us will wear it.
It's
going
gonna be a collector's item.
Oh yeah, of course.
Guarantee it.
Yeah, I'll sign one and sell it for like $100
Mm-hmm.
or something. But that looking back, that name is a solid okay, right?
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like our nerdy version of stuff. Do you guys remember? But it took us forever to get to that name. Do you guys remember all the names we went through to become, I guess, Bass and Sound, and then eventually eventually Cloud Rovers, right?
Yeah, it was a lot. I remember we had a couple times where we were just like writing down names and we're like, no, one person doesn't like that. No, 3 people don't like that one. You know? It took a while.
Were there any sore thumbs?
Oh,
You know, that stuck out.
I want to like point out like before these two kind of like before all 4 of us became a thing, like it was just us two, like the OG brothers.
The OG brothers. These are just
Yeah.
add-on brothers. They're the DLC.
Yeah,
GLC brothers. there you
we've
go.
kind of like mixed and matched members like really early when we were like in middle school and
Like
like
10 years ago.
early high school. Yeah, like
Yeah.
like yeah, and we kind of like went through like a band Syrup. I remember that.
Yeah. I guess technically I was part of Syrup for a little
Yeah,
bit.
you were. Yeah, you did join it at the end of the Syrup era.
Mm-hmm.
I liked.
Was that after that song, Cough Syrup?
Yeah.
No.
Is that,
Oh,
no.
it wasn't?
No.
Okay. I
We
totally
did,
thought
we
it was.
did play that song.
I remember playing that a few times. And I
Cough Syrup by
thought
Young
that's
Vagina,
always
good
what it
song.
was, but
I know. It's one of those.
Do you know the reason why I chose Syrup?
Oh, wasn't it one of those names that like our dad chose?
No, I actually came up with it.
No, you came up with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because I really like Cake. Because Short Skirt Long Jacket and The Distance would
Oh,
play
yeah.
on our local alternative rock channel.
I wanna
And I was
hum it.
like, dude, I want the name Cake so bad. Like, why can't I be Cake? I should have came up with that.
Yeah.
That first, even though that band's a lot older than even us.
I like still to this day, I don't think it's a bad name.
Well, I just thought it would be like, oh, it's cute and it's food.
I still think it's a pretty cool name, but
I don't
Yeah.
like it in hindsight.
You don't like it
It's
anymore?
too sticky and
Too sticky.
too sticky and
Syrup.
viscous.
We're gonna
It could be
stick in
sweet.
your minds.
Yeah,
Our
sweet.
songs.
Mhm.
so
Syrup.
good.
It sounds gloopy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like Cloud Rovers better, but
Oh,
I might
obviously.
be biased. You know.
Yeah.
Right.
In the beginning, my dad was really really involved, and he was like, "I got the genius idea, guys. It's gonna make you millions.
Mhm.
Let's go buy trapped protein."
I
I
mean,
forgot
yeah.
about that one. Trapped protein.
It makes an impression.
It
you know,
certainly does.
that's all you need.
Ooh.
I mean, I will say there was this random song. It wasn't that great. It was like okay, but I looked at the song title. I was telling Matthew about this, and
Okay.
it's like "Home from the Spleen" by Closure in Moscow. And I only remember this song because of the title of the song and the name of the band. Like that's like the only reason I really remember it.
So what you're saying is I should write a really sappy love song
Uh-huh.
and call it like, oh shoot, come up, call it like, oh, I stabbed my eye with a
Uh-huh.
Christmas light or something.
Yeah, I mean-
it has nothing to do with the title.
Uh huh. Sometimes it really helps, you know.
Gosh, do you remember any of the other strange names?
I think the only one I remember is the Kiss the Giraffe.
Oh,
which I
Kiss
thought
the
kind
Giraffe.
of
The giraffe.
fit that.
I like
realm.
that one.
You know, it's pretty good. It's a little bit out there. You know what I mean? But it leaves an impression, which I liked.
What a cool like band logo would be is like like giraffes have like really long tongues. Like I feel like someone getting slapped with like a giraffe tongue would be a really
would be
funny
great.
band logo.
If you, all of you, are out there starting a band name, you have our permission to use Kiss the Giraffe.
Got to do the logo though.
yeah.
The
God, I
Big
love
tongue
that.
slap.
yeah.
Yeah, those are good ones.
Could you imagine being Kiss the Giraffe or Trapped Protein?
Trapped protein.
Just
Yeah.
like
Trapped
big-
protein sounds like a heavy metal name kind of.
Maybe for bodybuilders or something.
Man,
Oh, that'd be good.
yeah.
Like a full
Yeah.
full buffed band.
Yeah. Got like the protein scoop as our logo.
Could you imagine some buff guy, flying into the ring in WWE, and now on the left court or left side of the ring, Trapped Protein, with an undefeated record of 2-0.
That'd be great.
Oh boy.
I mean, it instills fear.
I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
5-second rule.
I mean, that was a decent name.
We went by that for a while too.
Yeah,
it
we
wasn't just
did.
an idea.
Mm-hmm. It was just a little too common. There were like
5
20 on Facebook.
Yeah, there were a bunch of failed. Well, failed is a harsh word, but there were a bunch of like failed bands that when people get together, they're like, let's start a band for
Mhm.
2 weeks, and then they
Yeah.
break away from each other because they're actually busy. So there were a lot of those, and
I think there was one that had, a couple hundred followers or something.
okay,
But that was about it. It
that's
wasn't
not bad.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but then there was also like. It was like too many letters in a way to like put it on a T-shirt. But if you use 5 and then 2 ND, you just looked like you were 50-second rule.
I mean, maybe that's what it is.
And we've definitely got that.
Uh-huh.
Are you 50-second? No, or 5-second rule.
I feel like we have a
Right.
history of that. Our name just constantly being mispronounced or said wrong or remembered wrong. It's just, we just love that. I don't know.
That segues to our legendary name and our
Uh-huh.
previous name before this. Basin Sounds.
Yeah, or bass and sound,
sound.
or sound and bass, or sound and bass, or
Yeah.
bass in
Any
sound.
combination you could think of.
Uh-huh.
Bass.
Uh,
Gosh, do
Bit
that
of an
many
oversight.
people First of all, do that many people fish? And does it look like any of us fish?
I don't know. I guess we look like fishermen, I guess. It's all about the bass.
the fisherman.
And what's the correlation between like sound and bass? Like what?
I don't know.
Like how good are the ears of a bass? Like come on.
If you
Do they have ears?
I'm gonna do
Imagine they do.
research later, like editing this, and I'm gonna be like totally
it up on
proven
the
wrong. I'm
screen.
gonna look like an idiot.
There's the ear of the bass.
Yeah, like the diehard, like
You're the bass.
the diehard fisher, like
Oh,
Yeah.
like Yeah, like the people out there who actually fish are like clicked off already. They're
Yep.
like, no, I can't listen to these people.
They don't play country music.
They don't even know what a fish is.
It was especially annoying. I assume this is what people with really unique and beautiful last names feel like. Have felt like they're all throughout school is just have their name constantly mispronounced, and I think that's one of the reasons we changed the name. But it was especially annoying to us because even honestly, like even my mother's close circle, Buck and I are half Filipino, and the Filipino community, they just don't understand that bass is a word.
Yeah, it gets lost in translation. Yeah.
And it's already bad because they don't know bass is a word, and then the English grammar isn't quite the same as Tagalog grammar. So I just got sound and bass so much. Like they would like announce us on stage. It's all like bass and sound and bass. I'm like, it's bass.
I can imagine them just rehearsing in their head. All right, it's bass and sound, sound and bass.
There you go. Too good.
Well,
Yeah. Also, like I also think like the name didn't really like stick out. Like I don't know. It's just
I really felt that kind of that just like generic music.
I feel like that would be a good name for like a recording studio. Just
yeah.
or like some kind of like monitor or speaker shop.
Yeah, sound and bass.
Yeah.
Hey, somehow we were the like as you say that we were the only people to have I almost said sound and bass. See,
Catching on.
Yeah.
we were the only people to have bassandsound.com. And I actually used to get like compliments like when I handed out business cards. They would be like, "You got that domain?" I'm like, "Yeah, we did."
It was unique, surprisingly. Yeah.
Even though it sounded like it came from a random name generator.
Yeah.
But gosh, what's kind of been like something that's like I love music, but blank for you.
Love music but blank.
Yeah. Is there something that like frustrates you about like music and the music scene and stuff? Because I got like a trillion things to complain about.
Yeah. I just I look on the internet and see other people playing drums, and that's my.
Oh
yeah. I'm gonna just put my sticks down and
give up.
But it's also the one thing. No. You want to be that good, so yeah, you better practice. Yeah, that's definitely a big. I love music, but there's always someone better than you.
Yeah. Yeah, there was I don't know if you guys have heard of Polyphia. I showed you guys, of course.
Yes.
But if our audience has heard of Polyphia, there was a great comment on one of their posts, and it was like, last year I like really wanted to learn this, and like I didn't think I was able to do it. And it's like, and 2 years later, I still can't. I was like, that sums it up perfectly.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get that. It's one of those things that like. I kind of like having it out there, that unattainable goal of like it could be so much more. That's kind of nice, but
keeps you awake at night and the day.
I feel like as a music listener, I love it. There's stuff out there. It's new. It's interesting. And then as a person that writes music and wants to play music, I just it's just like more depressing. What?
Well. I have a couple things, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can make this a segment of the week. Casey's music complaints. Actually, I have a strange relationship with music, which we can milk.
Psychoanalyze.
Yeah, well, we can psychoanalyze and milk for other content later. Later down the road when we run out of things to talk about. But I remember one time I had a pretty great guitar teacher, and then like after like 3 years, I stopped going to him because it. I plateaued and I was like, oh, I'm going to go explore some other guitar stuff by myself. And I actually started getting into songwriting and music. And I think that my dad and this guitar teacher both did the same thing to me. Okay. So I met the guitar teacher later and just imagine my dad doing this too. They were like really into guitarists and they're like, greatest guitarists in the world and stuff. And I'm like, I don't care. And well, because like I just wanted to like jam and vibe and stuff. I didn't really care about working on the essentials, and I still don't. But but there was they pulled me aside both at separate times.
Okay.
And they were like, "Hey, so do you want to hear like the secret to like becoming really good?"
I feel like everyone
And
does
I'm
this.
like, "Oh, what's the secret? Like, give me something to like work on and like focus on the secret."
Your
He's
little
like, "The
child brain is like anything.
Yeah,
Yeah, what is-
anything.
do I
Tell
have to take
me-
a pill?
yeah.
The red or the blue pill? Which one?
Do I have to just take an extra chewable vitamin? Yeah.
yeah, extra vitamin a day.
Guitar vitamin.
But they were both like, "Casey, the secret to greatness, to the greatest guitarists, is practice." And I'm like, "No shit." My hopes were so high, and then they just plummeted. I'm like, I'm already practicing. And I understand the merit that they were saying at the time. Like, that constant, consistent practice is what does it, right? It makes you better. But as someone who was already practicing, you're a kid, you can only focus for like 10 to 20 minutes at a time, right? And I was practicing like 15 minutes a day and stuff. And they were like, "You got to practice." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm already practicing. I'm going to be the greatest guitarist in the world."
Yeah.
Nah, it's also how you practice.
Yeah, I think going back to the actual topic is I'm really frustrated with music. Like, I don't know what to practice. And they're all like, "You just practice more." And I'm like, "Dude, if I just keep playing Mary Had a Little Lamb, I'm not going to get any better at guitar." So trying to find what to practice right frustrates me a lot. And it's really annoyed me this week because I'm like, I'll get back into guitar. My hand healed up recently. I'm going to play guitar. And I'm like, what am I going to play besides the same stuff I already play?
Yep. I ran into that same trap. And for me, it was like, okay, I think I'm going to have to take the plunge into music theory. There's like...
Did you?
A little bit. It was more like practicing the scales and, doing the stuff like on each finger, starting on the index finger, starting on the middle finger, and doing all that. And it's like, I don't like it because like I want to jam. But,
Come on.
I mean, it worked for me pretty, like after just doing the scales 20 times a day, for like a week, my jamming got better. And I was like, okay.
There's merit to this.
Yeah, like maybe I do need to go down the music theory route, really go into it, get, all the chords, all the different inversions. I mean, maybe Matthew can speak to it because he's definitely gone a lot further than I think any of us have in that realm. But, it's one of those things.
I don't know. It's like one of those things that I never really tried to learn.
Oh,
It was just like, oh, this is interesting. I'll watch this YouTube video on
well, yeah.
this thing. And I was
It's
like, okay, that's
interesting, but-
cool.
You got it through osmosis.
So it's more like that.
Kinda
It's just
jealous.
like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder how you put a good song together or something. And then like, oh, there's like a video and so I watch that. Or
I don't know. For me, it's
oh,
like
things like that.
It's interesting, but like actually like executing it is just, or like coming up with it in the moment and all that. Is, I don't know. I don't just assimilate it,
I guess I just found it more like interesting and slowly over time, like never really pushed it too hard. Just be like
Maybe that's the way.
picking up little things at a time. Be like, oh, that's why that's that way it is. And then you start like making connections back when you see some video and like, I know I've heard this before. Like it goes back to there. I don't know. That's the way I know most of my music theory now.
I mean, he is pretty excellent at learning,
guess.
right?
But
Yeah. So like Matt, but like you like music, right? But
Right.
what's your big but?
I guess the other question is, does
anything?
anything frustrate you?
Yeah, does anything frustrate you?
Right. Probably the biggest thing is the same, like trying to learn something that you just like can't, I guess. We're like,
you're not there yet.
it's so like impossibly hard. Like you think, okay, if I just practice this enough, like I'll eventually get it. And then you practice it over and over and over again. And then it's just still not any better. Like you've played it hundreds of times at this point, and it's just, I'm just not going to get this. And you kind of have to give up at that point. That's probably the most like, the frustrating thing.
yeah.
But
give up till you can come back in a year.
Right, and then in
Yeah.
a year you're like, I shouldn't have been struggling with this that much. It's not too bad.
Wow,
Like,
I was so
you gotta
bad.
know the technique or the theory to really nail it and stuff. I was fortunate enough when I was learning a song like Fantasy.
Ooh.
Like
It's another
I
song.
had enough technique behind me that I could, like just forcefully watch and rewatch and like slow it down half speed to like get all the fills and
Yeah.
the beats.
It's hard finding that right song that's just like
Yeah.
pushes you a little bit, but doesn't like completely blow your skill out of the water.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's a
Uh-huh.
challenge.
Yeah. I think
yeah.
the one for me, I guess it's not really music related. Well, it is, but it's not really about the music. Is in setting up all this stuff, it's how much non-musical stuff you have to do to like even make a couple bucks in music. Like it's just sucky. Like all the stuff you have to do now. There's like you need to be popular on social media. You need to get the views. You need to do TikTok.
Learn how to market it.
Yeah, learn how to market yourself. Then you have to go into, the whole realm of music recording and like make sure that your songs like sound good. So you either got to pay a ton of money or you got to like learn how to do it yourself. And it's just, I love jamming and like all this extra stuff is just,
I guess it becomes kind of a more advanced hobby.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, for as useless as college is in the grand scheme of things, right? I think maybe the maturity that you learn from college is what makes music work. Like,
Yeah, I can see that.
like learning how to, learning how to network and market, and learning how to keep your own schedule and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like we'll basically behind every like 10 seconds of notes that we play, right? There's like 3 hours of just other BS that you
Yeah.
have to do.
I mean, going off of that, I think what made this like happen and come to fruition was kind of like college engineering management stuff for me,
Nerd. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm making those Gantt charts, making the plans and like organizing things, your mind maps and all that stuff.
You're
It's
low
like-
key flexing. Also, like,
Right.
come on. You're like, yeah, I went to college. Yeah, I'm an
No, but, like-
engineer. Yeah, I had to do all this hard stuff.
No, it's like the classes themselves were probably the easiest classes I had in college.
What?
Yeah, like the engineering management stuff, like they didn't require that much. You just had to like put some stuff in a chart. Like you
My
didn't
teacher
have to.
made me go back and redo an assignment.
Really? Oh, my teachers were so chill. It was like, yeah, do you want to do this portfolio? No, you don't have to do the portfolio if you don't want to. I'm like, I'd rather not. Want to put these blog posts up? I'm like, sure. It was like so chill, but like that like kickstarted this and like I guess gave me like the skills to like push through that all the random stuff you have to do to get it started.
And now with those skills, we can play music.
Yep, we can hopefully make some money off of it. We'll see.
Yeah. What should we do with the first paycheck?
I don't know.
Didn't we already get one technically?
No, but like the first like internet paycheck.
Yeah, like
yeah, because like our family friends have paid us to play a wedding, but like
yeah.
yeah,
I don't know. Like for this, like the Cloud Rovers IP, like
yeah.
for that, I don't know.
Oh, this is we buy a Lambo or rent one, depends on how much we get paid, and then we flex on the internet. We grow as like influencers. No.
So you think we're gonna make $200,000 in the first paycheck?
Yes.
The first song we release,
And that's why you
million.
need to dream.
yeah.
So, before we start wrapping this up, I want to talk about the debut. We're finally on the internet.
Yep, we've done all the hard work. We've set it all up.
At least I think so.
Well, if this is being released,
When we
we've
think
done
it
it.
is.
Right?
We've done
Yes,
it now.
but I am glad you enjoyed if you are here watching this, I'm glad that you enjoyed the launch of the Cloud Rovers. We have or should have that song, Why Can't You Say You Love Me, out.
Mhm.
And
It's a banger.
It's an awesome song. Should we talk about it now or later? Next episode. I don't-
We can't figure out the
Leave them
ending.
hanging.
yeah, leave them hanging.
a little bit of hanging there.
Yeah, for a long time we actually for that song we couldn't figure out the ending.
Yeah, I'm saying we can't figure out the ending.
Uh-huh.
But by the
But
time that you see
By
this,
the time you see this, we
Yep.
have figured out
We
the
figured
ending.
it out. And it's great now.
And it's great now.
it is great. And even in its unfinished state, it was like a song that made you believe in the project. Like
Mhm.
we created something like that
Yeah.
we're like, I'm sold.
Uh-huh.
We can definitely do this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that we feel people would actually listen to, and
Mhm.
you know, they'd save to their playlist or listen on repeat. That's, I don't know, all I hope for, at least. That like a couple people save it to their Spotify playlists and listen to it a week, once a week or something.
Yeah. And it's a
So that'd
song
be
that
good.
they come back. And then we also have this other video called, I don't know what it's called, but where we blind taste a bunch of candies.
Mhm.
So
fun.
that's a cool one. You can see clips of it on our socials, and you can see the whole thing in our YouTube channel. So there'll be plenty of stuff coming out from us, and you'll get to see a lot of Cloud Rovers.
Mhm.
You get to hang out with us and listen to our music.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff planned. So
Now
Yeah.
the real
Stick
thing
around.
is doing it, I guess.
Yeah.
right?
Right.
But anyway, that wraps it up for the first episode of the Cloud Rovers podcast. That's Steven, I'm Casey, that's Buck, and our esteemed guest, Matt.
Thanks
And,
again for having me.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
If it grooves, I approve.
Stealing it.
We got to come up with like great ending.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Little catchphrase.
Yeah, I feel like we should have a sign off.
Go team!